This video will show you how to replace the front engine mount on a Toyota Matrix. This will be located along the front of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Now from here, if you make your way down along the transmission dipstick tube, you can see where our front engine mount is located. Now to access this, we're going to make our way underneath the front of the vehicle so we can make our way to the lower hardware. Now from under the front of the vehicle, we're looking for our transmission pan. We can see it right here over towards the driver's side of the vehicle. We also have our side splash shield, which makes its way over towards the center. On this cross member is where the mount will be located, just above it. So let's go ahead and make our way there. We're going to dislodge this splash shield. We have a couple push clips that we can start dislodging. In our case, we're going to carefully start removing the center to unlock it, and then we can remove the outer portion as well. Now for this one, it looks like I can use a small screwdriver. Just gonna see if I can make my way in. That exposes our front engine mount. After exposing the mount, the next thing I always like to do is apply a little bit of support underneath my engine and transmission, since we are removing the forward mount. Now I'm using a small jack here. I can also use a small chunk of wood. I want to ensure I do not cause any damage as I continue on applying light pressure. We have support underneath the transmission and engine. Let's continue on inside of each of these two circular ports. You're going to find two 14mm mounting bolts, one for each port. Now we can make our way to our through bolt. This makes its way through the engine bracket and through the engine mount. On the inboard side, you're going to find a 14mm mounting nut, so I'm holding that still while I continue on with my bolt. Now that I have the mounting nut off of there, the mounting bolt itself should slip right out of here. Ours is actually stuck in the bushing of our motor mount. Now I have to get this out of here, but you should just go ahead and pull that bolt right out. Now just a quick inspection of our mounting bolt. We'll set that aside. Once you have that bolt out, continue on to removing the rest of the mount. Our mount is coming apart in separate pieces. There's the center bushing area. There it is, friend. Now, prior to installation of any brand new part, of course, we need to make sure we clean and inspect our mounting area. We have the bracket attached to the engine itself. If you found that this needed to be removed to be cleaned, there's two bolts holding it in place. Just double check to make sure it's not rotted and weak. Aside from that, we also have this lower cross member. We need to make sure that the upper portion of this area is clean. You can tell that there's typically a lot of debris up along this area. Let's make sure we have a smooth surface. I'm just going to wipe this down. We'll be careful for any sharp edges. Just double check up along each one of those two mounting holes. I don't feel any debris in either of these. Now it's time for installation of our brand new front engine mount. We need to make sure we have this in the proper orientation. This small tab right here is on the engine side, facing towards the rear of the vehicle here. Let's go ahead and start getting this in place. We're going to have to start in each piece of mounting hardware. We are not tightening anything until everything is started in. Now that I have that sitting in the bracket area, we're going to continue on with our through bolt and the mounting nut. We'll be taking the bolt from the driver's side straight through the bracket, through the mount, and through the other side. and then just go ahead and start on that mounting nut. Once again, we're leaving it loose. Now for our 14mm bolts, this is typically easiest. If you just go ahead and start them on the socket, we should be able to still move that mount around as necessary. We have all the hardware started in. Let's release pressure from underneath our transmission and engine. When we lower this down, we're going to find that the center bolt should make its way all the way up in this area of the bracket. We can see where it was originally. Now at this point, the engine and transmission is in the fully rested position. We can remove our support and we'll continue on snugging and torquing each piece of hardware. As we tighten each piece of hardware, we're going to make sure that we snug it and then torque each piece to 38 foot-pounds. There we are. One last quick inspection in this area and we can reinstall our engine splash shield. Now for this, we need to align it so we can put in all 3 of our push clips. When you install your push clips, start by installing the outer aspect and then lock it in by driving in the center as well. Go ahead and install all 3 of those and then we can get out from under here. Okay friend, we finished the installation of our front engine mount. The next thing you need to do is make your way inside the passenger compartment. You're going to start the vehicle and run it through all gears. We need to make sure there's no odd vibrations coming from the engine area. Aside from that, thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.